Hi everyone, I'm Juni. I'm taking you for mouse handling events in Java. That is a GUI program, and that's a very simple program for mouse handling events. Just how to do mouse handling, like exit, how to do exit, how to do enter, how to do mouse release, how to do press, mouse press. So these things are how to do, you need to do. How there are so many events are there in Java, like you might have learned, or in the coming videos you can learn that events. This is one of the famous event is called mouse events. So already I think in the previous videos we had a couple of I think it's there action event is there, which action event especially happens for the basic thing called button. Even for certain steps action even can be happen, and mouse handling is basically handled for only for mouse. Like that we have so many events are there. Even we do have keyboard events, we do have window events, we have item events, like that so many events are there. So let's see in this. Now this is specifically designed for mouse, that is mouse handling events. Okay, so now let's see the program, how to do. So mouse event is basically is for a mouse button, and it is when the mouse button press it render, like you enter there, or when you release, when you click, when you exit, these all things are called as mouse events. So mouse means like it's a button. Your mouse button has to be pressed. So when you press, you are entering to there, exiting and release, all those things will be there. So you have to drag, then move, then only it will come. These are mouse motion events. So how to do this mouse events? So every time I told you I am creating a package. Through the package, I am doing my Java program package app and Java AWT.event. And here you can see that my class name is mouse listener example. Now, and I am doing it in the normal frame, not as a J frame. Every time, this time I am using only a normal frame. And I wanted the mouse event to come. So if you want the mouse event to come, I should go for implements mouse listener. Implements mouse listener. Where is this mouse listener lying? It is lying in java.awt.event. You have to either bring with this, then only the mouse listener. Mouse listener has so many functions are there. So many methods. We call this methods. Methods are there that we need to override. It's mandatory that we need to override all the methods, whether you use or not use. So that we will see later. So in that I needed a label. In that label only I am writing whether mouse entered, whether mouse exit, and whether mouse press, release, that things I am writing in that label. So I need a label. And in the constructor, I added the mouse listener. So it's very, very important. I need to add this listener. Listener is inherited in my class. So I need to add this listener, this. Then I need to create an object of the label, and I need to bounce the position like x-axis, y-axis, and the points, bounce the position to that, and then added the label. Okay. Now next is I just simply set a background color and size, layout, null, and visible true. So these are the things which is very important stuff. So here I didn't do anything, just a simple label. In that label, whenever I enter the mouse, it will say mouse enter, whether it is exit, mouse exit, whether it's press, that will reflect on the label. Now, in that, as I told you, this mouse listener has certain methods are there. These methods I need to override. So what are the methods there in the mouse? That is mouse clicks. First method is public void mouse clicked. In that, you have to use mouse event. So whenever you go for a mouse listener, it is always you have to go for mouse event. Then there's a variable. It will all catch on the variables. Then what I need, when I click, what I need to do? I have to do L dot set text when I click the mouse. So when I should say I click the mouse. Then when I say, when I enter the mouse, what I need to do? That is public void mouse entered. Mouse again. That's the second method. So here I said set the text as mouse entered. Again I said exited. There are how many methods are there? 5 methods. That is a mouse exited is another method. This also takes mouse event. And here I said that if you are exiting, it will give you the mouse exited text. And when you press the mouse, it will give you mouse event that will give you the text as mouse pressed. And when you release the mouse, that will give you set text as mouse released. Okay. Now, here you see that. Now, these are the 5 methods. You need to it's compulsory you need to override. Sometimes all the methods we don't use. We use only 1 or 2 methods. Then also you override and keep it there whether you want or not. But whichever methods you wanted, you can use that things. So it's an interface. All methods has to be overridden. Okay, so next what you have to do is write the main, create object. Here we don't need a variable, we just say new mouse listener. So when you can see here, you are using new mouse listener. This mouse listener example. So I have already written the constructor there. So in the previous slide, you can see that I have already written the constructor. This is in the constructor. What is do? You will add this listener to this, and then you will put a label, and the label I position. I added the label to the frame. I put the background color. I put the size. I put the layout, visible everything. So this is how I am doing a mouse listener. Now let's do this coding in our Eclipse. Again, I am going to my Eclipse. Already I created a project over here. In this now, I just going and creating a package only. You can create any package for that. It's always good to do a package. So I'm keeping a package for as mouse. Okay. So I created a package as a mouse. So now in that only, literally I'm going to write my class. So first, before going and doing the thing, you need to see that what is the class name. So it's compulsory what you have to, what is the class name you are writing. Class name you have to give. So because as I told you at the studying initial stage, you always see that your class name and the file name should be same. So you have to see that class name and the file name should be same. So what is the class name? Let's have a look onto the class name, what we are writing here. So here the class name is mouse listener example. So that's the same name you have to provide on the Eclipse also. You have to provide it on the Eclipse. So I'm going to give the same name, mouse listener example. So I'm going to give it for the Eclipse mouse listener example. Right click, new class. So here I'm giving the name as mouse listener example. Okay, mouse listener example. So that's enough. Now just go ahead and do. Now now a lot of things we have to do here. So now we have to extend frame. Now I'm doing only in frame, and my interface I need to implement. So if Mouse listener is an interface. So you need to implement the mouse listener. Now you can see that these guys are showing this red color. So just go ahead and import the packages one by one. First you are importing mouse listener. Second one you are importing your frame. Okay, so everything has been imported. Now what is that? In this mouse listener, you have certain methods are there. These methods you need to override. That's why if you don't, unless and until if you don't override, it will show you that red color line. So I'm giving the label. In the label, I just give simple mouse listener example. That's a constructor which I'm writing over here. Now I'm adding. Why the label is showing the red color? That is because you need to import that guy also, label also. So that if you do import, that will goes off. Now I need to add this mouse listener here. Mouse listener here. So I'm adding the mouse listener. So you have to add it properly. Adding the mouse listener. Then I'm creating object of the label. Without creating object, I can't access my methods in the labels. So it's mandatory that you need to create object of the label. And now I'm positioning my label as a set bounds. I'm not using any layouts. So I'm positioning set bounds in 20, that is x, 20 and y-axis, x-axis, y-axis I'm providing here. 20, 50, then height and width. Okay. So I positioning my label there. Then I added the label to the frame. That also I did it. Now, what is the next I have to do is I have to set the size. So I set the size. Now, before setting, we'll do the background. Set background, where I'll go for color. So in the PPT, I have given that the color I have given. You can give any color as you like. So you can, let's take blue color today. So go for blue. Now set size. So I'm just simply giving a small size. 100 is enough. So it's just 100. Now I have to say, since I use the bounds, the set bounds, I have to say the layout as a null. Layout and putting it as a null. And then I have to say set visible. Set visible. That is also very important stuff. As I told you in every videos, that set visible is important. If you don't give it as a true, what will happen? It won't be visible to you. It won't be visible to you. Right? So you guys, you are seeing here literally, right? It won't be visible. Now these are the constructor is done as per my part. Now what I need to do? I need to override all the methods in the mouse listener. So what is the first method? That is public void mouse clicked. That's the first method, mouse. So whichever method when you override, you have to write that mouse event also. Mouse event, just put a variable. This is how. Okay. Now inside, just put a curly braces, closing and opening. And you need to import the mouse event also. You need to import the mouse event. If you don't import it, it won't come it up. So import the mouse event. Okay. Now you see this, that red line has been literally gone off. Now what you have to do is you have to say L dot set text. Set text. So you are putting your text. What you are doing is just simply say, you guys can do what you want. I just simply say mouse clicked. Finish. That's it. Now you have seen that I had done for the mouse click. Like that, there are another 4 more methods are there in the mouse listener. So that also you bring it, because if you don't bring it, it won't work it out. So what is the next method is mouse entered. Mouse entered. So you have to give here as mouse entered. Right? So again you have another method is there, that is mouse exit. Okay, now again you have another method is there, that is that mouse pressed. Right? Now the last method is mouse release. So how many methods are there in the mouse listener? 5 methods. So 5 methods. If you don't write one method, it will point you as an error. So interface means every method has to be overridden. So done with my methods. All 5 have written. Now next step is I need to write the main function. So since it is a frame, it is an application. Application has to be, as application is necessity that we need to write the main. So main, I just put a RGS, any variable you put inside. I just simply say new, because I don't need that variable of an object. I just need to evoke my constructor. Then whenever I give the mouse events, it will direct that events over there, so that it will do it. So now I created my object. Okay, now you guys here. So when I create my object, this is my object. When I run this, it will come to the JVM, will take you to the main program, and you'll come to the main, and main will create an object. That time it will trigger your constructor, and the constructor will add your mouse listener label. It will position it, add it, background it will do, and set size it will do, layout it will do, set visible is true also it does. Right? Now when you click the mouse, it will come directly. It will capture here, click, and it will set you the text mouse. When you click on when you enter, it's a mouse. When you exit, it's a mouse exit. When you press, it's a mouse pressed. When you release, it's a mouse release. So you understand, right? So again, now my all codings is done. Now I go for Control S, save. Make sure that your class is saved. Okay. Now right click and say run as Java application. You guys see here, now nothing is not there in my mouse, right? Now you can see here, first time again, I just, you see here, this is my, I just drag and put it here. You guys, I hope you guys can see. For you guys, I am just putting it once again, just putting once again with little more size. We'll make it 300 so that you can see it, right? Again, I saved. Again, right click, Java application. So this time you can see the big screen, right, with the blue screen, right? Now nothing is not there in my label is there, but label doesn't have any content. Now I'm going, my mouse, you guys can see it's rotating here, right? This I'm going to enter inside to my GUI. I'm entering, right? You guys see, wait and say entered. What is literally written? Mouse entered, right? Now my mouse, if I come out, if I come out from the mouse, it says mouse exited, right? Mouse exited. So two things you see, mouse entered, mouse exited. Now another thing is, when I am entering the mouse entered, I'm going to press my mouse. You have to press the left button. What you see? Mouse pressed. right? Now you release, it's a mouse clicked and released, right? So once again, you can see that mouse pressed and released. You can see here, mouse pressed and release also, you can see that when you mouse release, you see, right? So it's all these are capturing, all events are capturing. Based on that, it will do. Now, if you want to do any programming based on these events, you can write it in these methods. This is what called mouse handling event. This is how the mouse is handling the events in Java. I hope you guys have understood about this mouse handling. So if you guys understood about the mouse handling, then we will shift to our slides. So this is about that. As I told you that we have a lot of events are there. So in the next coming videos, I'll just bring up with lot of videos with having all the events. I'll bring up and show you guys. So if you guys have any doubts or anything regarding these events, you can write it in the comment section and ask me anything. Or if you need any other projects, any programs you want to explain or display or whatever you want, you guys can write it on the comment section, so that I can help you out for your studies, your projects, things and all. So thank you. So we will see you on the next video with another program. Again, we will come back on the next day. That is tomorrow I'll be coming up. So thank you for your cooperation.